My name is Glenda, and I'm a registered nurse, and I have been a nurse for 12 years and licensed in the state of Washington under the Department of Health. I came on camera today to tell everyone my story because I think it's important to educate people how self-governed the Department of Health is, how much control they have over somebody's life and career, and I certainly, if I can do anything to stop this from happening again, to a fellow nurse, doctor, anyone, I will do it. I had actually worked my way up at the hospital and became charge nurse, and then I became actually a manager of a unit, and there was an actual narcotic diversion on another unit, and so senior management wanted to really crack down on narcotic practices, how we dispensed, how things were counted, the entire process. So all the managers, myself included, met with an outside pharmacy team and tried to knuckle down into what the issue was. So we were pulling reports, we were working with this team, and I went into my weekly meeting on a Friday with my boss, the CNO, and was told that I had narcotics pulled out under my name that were not documented. I was taken to the lab for a urine test and put on administrative leave. After I was put on administrative leave for 2 weeks, they decided to put me on leave without pay, and then was called into a meeting with HR, showed them all of my evidence, and was really just kind of blindsided by the whole thing. So while I was at home on unpaid leave, I received a letter from Department of Health stating that there was an investigation going to start, but these were the pending charges against me. I love being a nurse. I take it very seriously. I work really hard at it, and it felt like it was just like being ripped away from me over something that I didn't do. And there was no way out, really. I was shocked that, you hear when you're little, like, you live in America, you're innocent until proven guilty, and this was not the case. We were proving my innocence. I was already guilty in their eyes. Definitely felt like the Department of Health is not set up for people that are innocent. Definitely the system is set up to find guilt and punishment. And that's what it's for. So I immediately contacted Seth, my attorney, who did help walk me through the steps. Even at that point, though, I was overwhelmed. And of course, to Seth, it was routine. He was naming off all the things that could possibly happen and the steps that would be coming my way, and we started the process of trying to prove my innocence. We started getting records from the hospital. I had probably 25 signed affidavits from fellow nurses and physicians attesting to the crappy computer system, that this issue also happened to all of those people as well. It wasn't just meds that were not charted, it was the entire system was bad. Every time we got something, of course, we handed over to Department of Health. And then it felt like they changed investigators a few times, so then you have to start over at square one, which again is more money every time we start at square one. A lot of the information we got from the hospital was redacted. So again, it just felt like every time you turned around to try to prove your innocence, it was a roadblock, 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 roadblock. It's taken 3 or 4 years for me to be able to talk about it without getting emotional or angry or upset. It feels like they can do whatever they want. Department of Health can do whatever they want with your license. It just shocked me that they could come along and accuse me of something and pretty much take my career out from under me. And I really didn't have a leg to stand on. By the time the hearing was offered, I was broke and out of money, and it would have been an additional $15,000 to go to hearing, and it's not guaranteed even. that at a hearing you get what you want. You could even get a worse punishment after a hearing. Not to mention the hearing is ran by the Department of Health, judged by Department of Health judge. So even that alone felt very unfair and intimidating. After the disciplinary charges came down, which ended up being a documentation error, so they never accused me of diverting narcotics. They accused me of not properly documenting the administration of the narcotics. I have had to pay a fine to the Department of Health and had to take a documentation class, and I'm on probation. So really, it's other people will say like, well, that's not that bad. It's not. That's a light punishment. I don't think people realize the stigma that comes along with it, and I will have a ding on my RN license forever, which is what I was trying to avoid. Not only prove my innocence, but to avoid that ding on my license forever and a day for something I didn't do. And at that point is when I had to tell my current employer, and I, again, was terrified what they would think. I knew that they couldn't legally fire me over it, but it was still scary. And it's difficult to say I was accused of taking narcotics, but I didn't do it. But it certainly didn't feel like the process and the rules and regulations are set up for somebody who's innocent to prove themselves innocent.